Biology Exam Preparation for Medicine Students Part 5. Which of the following processes reduces genetic variation within a population?
The correct answer is genetic drift. Genetic drift refers to random changes in allele frequencies in a population, especially in small populations. Over time, this process can lead to the loss of genetic variation as certain alleles become fixed while others disappear entirely. Unlike natural selection, which favors alleles that enhance fitness, genetic drift is entirely random and independent of an allele's adaptive value. In contrast, gene flow introduces genetic variation by allowing alleles to move between populations. Mutation increases variation by introducing new genetic material. Natural selection, while it can reduce variation by favoring certain traits, generally preserves alleles that improve survival and reproduction. Genetic drift, however, uniquely erodes genetic diversity due to chance events.
Which ion plays a critical role in triggering muscle contraction?
The correct answer is calcium. Calcium ions are essential for muscle contraction because they bind to the protein troponin on the thin filaments within muscle fibers. This binding causes a conformational change that moves tropomyosin away from actin's binding sites, allowing myosin heads to attach and initiate contraction through the sliding filament mechanism. Other ions, such as potassium and sodium, play roles in generating the electrical impulses that trigger calcium release, but they do not directly facilitate contraction. Magnesium is involved in stabilizing ATP molecules, which provide energy for contraction, but calcium is the critical ion that initiates the process.
What is the role of the lac repressor in the lac operon?
The correct answer is that the lac repressor inhibits transcription by binding to the operator. In the absence of lactose, the lac repressor binds to the operator region of the lac operon, preventing RNA polymerase from transcribing the genes responsible for lactose metabolism. When lactose is present, it binds to the repressor and causes it to release from the operator, allowing transcription to proceed. The lac repressor does not activate transcription, facilitate RNA polymerase binding, or degrade lactose. Its primary role is to act as a molecular switch that controls the operon based on lactose availability.
What is the primary function of the inner mitochondrial membrane?
The correct answer is that it generates ATP via the electron transport chain. The inner mitochondrial membrane houses the protein complexes of the electron transport chain, which facilitate a series of redox reactions that create a proton gradient across the membrane. This gradient drives ATP synthesis through ATP synthase, a process known as oxidative phosphorylation. Other functions, such as protecting mitochondrial DNA, storing calcium ions, or synthesizing fatty acids, are not primarily associated with the inner mitochondrial membrane. Its highly specialized structure and embedded proteins make it the powerhouse of the cell.
Which phase of mitosis is characterized by the alignment of chromosomes along the metaphase plate?
The correct answer is metaphase. During this phase, chromosomes align at the cell's equatorial plane, also known as the metaphase plate. This alignment ensures that sister chromatids are evenly distributed between the two daughter cells during the subsequent phase, anaphase. Prophase involves chromosome condensation and spindle formation. Anaphase is the separation of sister chromatids, and telophase involves the reformation of the nuclear envelope. Metaphase is uniquely characterized by chromosome alignment, which is crucial for accurate cell division.
Which of the following is not part of the human innate immune system?
The correct answer is antibodies. Antibodies are part of the adaptive immune system, not the innate immune system. They are produced by B cells and specifically target pathogens after prior exposure or vaccination. The innate immune system includes components like natural killer cells, complement proteins, and macrophages, which provide immediate, nonspecific defense against pathogens. These components act as the body's first line of defense, whereas antibodies are part of the more specialized adaptive response.
What is the primary energy source for the synthesis of ATP during oxidative phosphorylation?
The correct answer is the proton gradient. During oxidative phosphorylation, the electron transport chain creates a proton gradient across the inner mitochondrial membrane. This gradient represents potential energy that drives protons through ATP synthase, catalyzing the conversion of ADP to ATP. While NADH donates electrons to the electron transport chain, oxygen serves as the final electron acceptor, and glucose is a source of electrons. The proton gradient itself directly powers ATP synthesis.
Which enzyme catalyzes the synthesis of a new DNA strand during replication?
The correct answer is DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase synthesizes a new DNA strand by adding nucleotides complementary to the template strand in a 5'3" direction. It also has proofreading abilities to ensure high fidelity during replication. Other enzymes, such as DNA ligase, join Okazaki fragments on the lagging strand. DNA helicase unwinds the double helix, and topoisomerase alleviates supercoiling, but DNA polymerase is the enzyme directly responsible for synthesizing DNA.
Which molecule is responsible for attaching amino acids to tRNA?
The correct answer is aminoacyl tRNA synthetase. This enzyme catalyzes the attachment of a specific amino acid to its corresponding tRNA molecule, a process known as aminoacylation. This step is essential for accurate translation of the genetic code into proteins. RNA polymerase synthesizes RNA, ribosomes facilitate translation, and peptidyl transferase forms peptide bonds during translation, but aminoacyl tRNA synthetase specifically links amino acids to tRNA.
What type of inheritance pattern involves multiple genes contributing to a single phenotype?
The correct answer is polygenic inheritance. In this pattern, multiple genes collectively influence a trait, such as height, skin color, or eye color. Each gene may have a small additive effect, creating a continuous range of phenotypes. Codominance involves both alleles being expressed equally, epistasis refers to one gene masking the effect of another, and incomplete dominance results in a blended phenotype. Polygenic inheritance uniquely explains traits governed by multiple genes working together.
Thank you for listening. If our podcast has been valuable to you, we would greatly appreciate it if you could leave us a 5-star rating and write a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or subscribe, like, and share on our YouTube channel. Your support helps us greatly with discoverability. We hope to see you soon.